Okay, so with that, do y'all think that women, or I can say women or men, sometimes like drop the ball in that area? Like, for instance, like you said, okay, we got to figure out what works best for us. But in the same sense, are you really figuring out what works best? Like, can you drop the ball in that area?
Absolutely, especially in this era, because
you better drop the ball.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it like this because again, like you said, we learning. We ain't had many people to show us how to be a good man.
Ain't no standard.
A lot of women ain't had a good example of how to be a good woman. So for the most part, all of us are looking at a standard that is seen on social media or on some type of platform that's not real as far as what am I supposed to do. So for sure you're going to drop the ball because now you're trying to uphold a standard for another individual that ain't even that this don't even have nothing to do with that. So I'm trying to uphold a certain standard. Go and this work both. I seen such and such going buy this, buy that. Let me go do that for my shorty. She might not even be that type of woman to where she need that.
Right.
Or you might not even be able to provide that. You might get down mentally on yourself because you might think that as a man you're supposed to be doing that because you've seen somebody else doing it.
Right.
And now you mentally might be drained. So I think that's the biggest thing as far as I for sure think the ball gets dropped a lot. And I think it's I don't even think it's meant to be dropped. I think it's ways to where we can work around to where we can stop doing that. You know,
right? Less and less.
So stop comparing. That's the main. What I keep hearing you saying is comparing. Like pretty much people compare
in a negligent way.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest things. So we talked about misconceptions of relationships, but what does it look like as far as when it comes to being faithful? What is the importance of being faithful or being committed or just being like devoted to that one person? Like, what does that look like? Hey, matter of fact, let's go deeper. What did it look like growing up to you? Being faithful. Even though a person may say, okay, I'm faithful, but low key creeping, sneaking and geeking.
I'm faithful.
And then, so tell me what you saw.
I'm going to repeat, but I'm going to start here. So growing up,
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is the question.
Yeah.
What did faithfulness look like to you growing up? And now that you learned and know everything that you know, what does that mean to you now? So what did it look like for you in the beginning? What did you see? What was that experience like? And then what is it now for you now that you have grown into a knowing of what does that mean?
So for me growing up, faithfulness looked me growing up, it was a lot of trauma when it comes to faithfulness, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to relationships. And not to dig too deep, but it was just a lack of seeing a lot of black male role models around you to where it's like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be done. So I know for me, growing up, just to go, faithfulness to me looked like, Kamar, okay, that's my brother, that's my cousin, I'm going to ride to him, I'm going to ride to him till I die, you know what I'm saying? That's all I know. Faithfulness for a lot of black males is my bro, So that's what I started learning how to become faithful to. I know how to be faithful to my boy. I know how to be loyal to my best friend. I know how to be loyal to my boy, because we don't know how to be faithful at a young age to another woman. You know what I'm saying? We're told, be faithful to your peer, be faithful to your friend, be faithful to your, whoever, and ride with them through thick and thin, but we're never taught how to be faithful to our significant other or who might be our girlfriend or our boyfriend growing up, because, we're just not taught that.
On player culture.
On player culture, for sure. And I know for me, that's where I'm at a point now to where I want to diminish that player culture, because I know it don't do nothing for the young males growing up or the young females, especially now, because we're growing up in the era now to where it's like, it's crazy. So I want to diminish that and tell the young homies and the little babies over here, like, shoot, being loyal is cool. Find you a girl that you can be loyal to. You know what I'm saying? When you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not trying to. You young. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need to really have a boyfriend, but that also a boyfriend, girlfriend. But that also don't mean be going around here having sex with every single little girl that you see. Yeah. 'Cause that ain't doing nothing for you either. You know. Now I'm at age now to where I see that, and I know that. So you know, you ain't got to just be going around having sex with everything for the little homies, because that's what I was told to do, you know what I'm saying? So typically, that's what I would draw down to a little, man, go ahead, you do your thing, you know what I'm saying, have fun, but that's really not it, you know? But to be loyal now, your question is how you...
Faithful, not like, so faithful when you were, what did that look like to you growing up? And you said faithfulness to you growing up was like, you learned not from like being in a relationship, you learned from being in a friendship. Like, to be a good friend, to be, loyal to your bro. And that's what you, like being loyal to your bro, and that was your viewpoint on faithfulness as a young age, and also too, you didn't have traumatic experiences with seeing faithfulness in other areas because you didn't have a lot of, or everybody don't, not to say you didn't, but everybody don't have a lot of black males, or not to just say black males, but men in their life to say, hey, this is what this looks like.
Yeah, this is what this looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
So now that you're older and you seen, you seen that, I know this with the bros, and then I've seen traumatic experiences that shaped my view. What is it now for you to be in a relationship and, in a marriage now, with your significant other, and what does that look like now, faithfulness for you?
I mean, because once you get to a certain age anyway, as an adult, you start to see all the ones that you was, your boys ain't all, they don't grow up to always be your boys forever. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because you'll meet, you might meet a female, or for a female, you might meet a male to where you be like, damn, you more solid than a lot of people that I ever came across in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you a hunter, so you feel me, to the gristle, ride with you, do whatever you need to be, you know what I'm saying, to be done. So, for me, loyalty in a relationship meant the same as what it would have meant with my boys or whatnot, but it's just like, from a whole different perspective. It's a whole different, like, because now I'm dealing with a woman now, so it's like, love you to death. I'm gonna be super. Reword that for me one more time.
Just what does faithfulness look like to you now that you're in a relationship, and now that you have grown into the maturity of understanding faithfulness, because you're married now? So your faithfulness back then was being faithful to your boys. You didn't know the faithfulness.
Yeah, so I know. So I was right. I was there. But the same loyalty and faithfulness that I would have had, that I learned to have for my boys, is the same loyalty and faithfulness that I know to have for my woman. You know what I'm saying? The same way I would have rolled for my boys, and still for the ones that I do still love, it's the same way that I'm going to still do for my significant other. But for you, it's going to be times 10, For you, it's going to be times 10, because I know the importance of having a happy home. I know what it's like to, try to, we don't have a kid right now, but to, one day have a child, and to have a child grow up in a home to where they're seeing love and not arguing, and seeing what it means to be mommy and daddy's in good standings and stuff. I know what that looks like, so I know without being faithful, I know without being loyal, ain't nothing that's gonna happen. Right. So I know what's important, and I've been through enough to be like, okay, that ain't it, you know what I'm saying? Let me make sure I do what I'm supposed to do to keep what I'm supposed to keep at home happy, regardless, before anything else.
Right. Yeah. So come on to the same question that I just asked him, the same for you. What do faithfulness look like to you growing up, and then what does it look like to you now? So like, how did your experiences and different things then shape, or what did you learn now that made you be like, okay, I was taught wrong, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same question.
I mean, like he said, we raised, and most young black dudes, they subscribe to the idea that your brotherhood, and you being loyal to your people, your bros that and things of that nature. And like I said, one way or another, we can talk about this before, but one way or another, we taught that is cool, and that's almost pushed in your head, whether somebody literally tell you that being loyal, you don't be fake, or the verbiage we use. But it's not common at all. I can't really name one time where somebody told me like, you know, make sure you be loyal to the girls that you claim you liking and things of that nature. Like that was never ever really said. It was really said, you know, to amass as much girls as you can in one way or another. May that be, you know, you talking to a whole bunch of girls and so on and so forth. Like we wasn't really taught that. So that was my first encounter of like what faithfulness and loyalty is and things of that nature. And funnily enough, you know, any girl I done dealt with, I ain't never really done like got a whiff that she was like not like really faithful, like really locked in. I done lost homeboys that done turned their coat, you know what I'm saying? Like it done threw me off at the moment. Like, dang, that's crazy. What I'm told is I'm told I'm gonna be loyal to y'all. Y'all niggas ain't being loyal. Right. Then I'm not doing a girl right, but she really the one that's gonna really be, you know, never turn her back on you. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So now when this happened, you don't even know how to respond or like how to process this. So, you know, now that I've grown up and see them things happen and take place, I just look at it a certain way. Like, really, I look at faithfulness and loyalness. I don't really put it out like who being faithful and loyal around me. I look at like through myself, because like if you're not being a loyal person and you look fake, like you look, that's like going on you. Like, you don't look like a honorable person or an honorable man. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you just jumping around and doing stuff, because if you can't be committed to something, like that's your flaw in your own character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it ain't gonna do nothing to look bad on you. When you turn your coat, it look bad on you. That person good. You know what I'm saying? They were just the one that it was affected on. But like, you gotta uphold your own loyalty and your own faithfulness. You know what I'm saying? Like that's for you. That ain't so. If you in a relationship, you know, you don't think that you gotta like force yourself to be loyal to this other person. Like be loyal to yourself. That's going bleed out into, you know, the relationship that you got.
Other people.
You know what I mean? Because it's really about you, in a sense, in my opinion.
Your opinion.
In my opinion,
I get that. I mean, I would say for me, when it comes to what faithfulness looked like to me growing up, if I'm being totally honest and transparent, it was one-sided.
Yeah.
It was very, very one-sided because I seen my mom be faithful in mostly every relationship. I don't think I've ever seen my mom be not faithful.
Yeah.
And faithful look like being committed to one person, putting your time in one person, just loving one person and not giving yourself to other people. But with the reason why I said it was one-sided is because I seen her being faithful, but I seen the guy she was dealing with being unfaithful.
Frivolous.
Giving their time to other people. Giving their time to other people, you know, cheating, lying, you know, manipulating the situation. So when I seen faithfulness as a young girl, I'm like, dang, it's one-sided for real.
For sure.
It's very, very one-sided. And then as I got older and just from that experience, I realized that, okay, I'm not gonna lie, it made me not have hope in certain areas. Like, okay, you know, growing up in our society, the black community specifically, you hear everybody gonna cheat. You just gotta find somebody that you're gonna be able to work through it with.
Sure.
So that was the end all be all right there. Like, okay.
That's another thing we done justified or like tried to justify in like black relationships. Like that's gonna happen.
Because you really salty for real. You really hurt.
A lot of misconceptions. It's everything. Like niggas ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what ends up happening to females growing up in situations like you, which you done seen that. And then it's a misconception of, you know, niggas ain't nothing. So then in return, it affects you to be a good woman because you like, how can I trust or how can I be a good woman to, you know, a dog when all I knew growing up was.
I mean, not for real. I'm speaking in how we really talk as women and what we talk. Like, he a dog. All he want is this. All he want is that. He gonna, once he get what he want from you, he gonna move to the next, or vice versa. Like, especially when you a female and you hang around guys or you have male friends or a brother or whatever the case, and you see them move. You like, oh yeah, all guys just literally the same. Like they're just the same. You know, so that was my thought process as growing up, and even, you know, all the way until, you know, maybe, you know, like going to high school and college. Like I still felt that way in high school. Then when I got to college, I was like, okay. and you see people get married, and you see people be in these long relationships, and then you see some committed guys. You like, okay, well, it's possible, and I just want to find that person for me. But at the same time, I'm not 100% sure it will happen. You get what I'm saying? So now that I'm in a committed relationship, that's to someone who's loyal to me, who's honest to me, someone who just nurtured me, who cared for me. It's like, I thank God that I didn't allow those past experiences to dictate me moving forward in my life, because if I would have allowed what I've seen growing up and just the experiences, I wouldn't have had my husband now, because I would have been like, dudes ain't nothing. They all dogs. They don't care. They liars. And it's like, I don't have a lying dude though. I can ask my man anything and he gonna be 100. And that's what I love about it, because I was told that men don't. I was told men don't even have feelings.
Yeah, but to piggyback off of what you saying, because we ain't gonna sit here and dog man. We ain't gonna sit here, now we ain't gonna make this about. Because listen,
hey, bro,
we didn't learn the same thing about female. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what our older homies would tell us, or that's what we see. You know what I'm saying? They might even be subconsciously. We might go into a crib, not to get too graphic or anything, to where it's like, dang, she in here with 5 dudes. Yeah. Oh, she's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same.
So then subconsciously in our mind, we thinking the same thing. Like, dang, all girls, dang, she ain't nothing.
Or you can't trust these girls because she in here with this dude. So you hear a dog. Dog shorties, like literally, because y'all sneaking and geeking. Females the same.
I'm saying, we talking about the female.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about the female.
I was gonna say though, but like a nigga only had that way of thinking because he got his feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? So now he got his feelings hurt one time. This girl that got her feelings hurt 150 times, still strong.
But also,
he got his feelings hurt one time. Now he done made a standard for every other woman. You know what I mean?
But also, it's the same for women, because our moms, aunties, cousins, whatever, telling us dudes ain't nothing, but it's because they got played.
Facts.
It's because you got played, and we all get played some point, and some we gonna get hurt. Yeah, like you gonna get hurt. So, but it's about how you deal with that hurt. So our parents or family or friends or cousins, even homeboys, whatever, then carried on to us their failed experience. You know what I'm saying? And we took it on because, we might see somebody actually getting played. Let's be real. Like, stuff that they encourage it. Like, dang, I do see John messing with TT and he messing with KK.
Or,
you know what I'm saying?
Or vice versa. She do got a man, and I know she going over to such and such house to get, because it works both ways.
No, it really do.
So you get to see it. But again, that goes back to what we talked about earlier, as far as just being mindful of what you taking in, your energy. You know what I'm saying? Being mindful of who you listening to and what's really the real. What have you, what's the real? Being cognizant of, okay, I can't take that in. That person has been hurt too many times. But they also like messing with certain type of individuals too. Because some people are just products of what they like. They might have been hurt so many times to where they really might only deal with
people that can hurt them.
That can deal, because that's subconsciously, because that's their norm. So they might not even be like I had a homeboy. I got a homeboy. This is kind of a little off topic, but not really. Say he want a relationship. I want a relationship. But it was one time we was talking and we brought up the news feeds as far as social media. And I ain't no perfect dude, I ain't saying my news feed is clear of anything, but I know for the most part what I'm gonna see when I'm on my news feed on social media. I said, well, so what's yours, bro? It ain't nothing but cheeks. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but all X-rated content. So it's like, how you gonna say? So
you want a wife or you want a girl?
But subconsciously, all you're doing is feeding yourself a certain thing all day, every day. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely for sure. But let's just say this. So when we talking about just the misconceptions and the different things in the community. But we also want to encourage you and let you know that it does not have to be that way. And to be mindful, like you said, of who you hanging around, what you listening to, because although social media is portraying this, although you may see what you surrounded by, that don't necessarily have to be. your story.
Your situation.
You know what I'm saying? So it's possible. Like, we're young, we just got married, we believe in each other, we're working to build a foundation. We know we not perfect, we know things are going to happen, but we willing to be with each other and respect each other. That's the thing. This ain't just okay, we decided that we're going to put up with each other's stuff. No, this is on something like we going to build with each other, we going to encourage each other to grow, we going to learn to we respect each other already, but we going to learn to respect each other on different levels. We going to be able to communicate effectively. We going in with a together mindset. That's why I was saying I encourage you to find somebody that wants to grow, somebody who want the same thing as you, who got the same desires and the same dreams. Like, it's possible. That's my whole thing, because I don't want to keep talking to them about so many misconceptions. And
that's what I said. Be confident to know it's somebody out there that's good in that you are worthy too for a certain type of individual.
If it can happen for us,
you know what I'm
saying? Happen for you. It can happen for you. It can happen for whomever, because we all are. We ain't no different than nobody that we know and that we come in contact with and so forth in life. We just, God bless us to be able to be who we are for each other and to decide to decide to do this together. So that's some of the misconceptions that we had.
But before you end that though,
okay,
because I was thinking of this a little bit seconds ago, or minutes ago.
Speaking.
Just to close up the misconception combo or whatever, or topic. Like, growing up as well, like, I thought faithfulness and loyalty was like it looked like being stuck with somebody. Cause like, you may see some adults as a kid, but you don't really know like what their relationship is. Like, you see them together, you know what I mean, when they come around, you know what I'm saying, and places where they're around people where they gotta like uphold something. But like, they not really happy together, and they just living stuck with each other. Not even like, you know what I'm saying?
Not even loving each other.
Not even loving each other anymore, I guess. And
it's
like,
a business deal at this point.
For sure. And like, I think one thing that we should learn too as well, like, you don't have to be stuck with somebody. That's not going to, that ain't going to make your loyalty brittle just because you like feel like you got to stay committed to somebody for X amount of time. Again, trying to uphold that happy marriage or happy life thing, stuff like, if you're not happy with somebody, you are very well allowed to and should, like, exit that situation.
Right.
Because they ain't going to only create more resentment. Now you're going to start to cheating and lying.
Now it's
and
more toxicity.
as opposed to you can just be like, I don't think we better for each other no more.
But
and like, a nigga, not to cut you off, but I know like,
I was cutting you off on accident.
I know dudes would be like instead of ending a relationship that we feel like we ain't ready for, I mean not ready for, but just whatever reason we feel like we don't want to continue a certain relationship, instead of like telling that girl, just being, completely honest and like transparent, instead of being like, I don't think we should do this no more, we'll start to cheating and lying and conniving and going around the whole combo of all we had to say this. And I think it stems from like a dude to say this, and I think it's low-key manipulative, but like a dude to say like, they don't want to hurt your feelings, but that's unavoidable. Like, you're gonna hurt that girl feelings. Like, you just gotta hurt her a certain way, and she gonna respectfully, and she gonna respect you no matter what. If you just keep it 1,000 with her and say like, I can't do this no more. Because if anything, y'all can come back. Y'all can go figure out life again and probably come back if y'all's relationship is meant to last. But dudes are like, they'll lie themselves out of it instead of just have that conflict. I don't think we should do this no more.
I always say that about guys. Like, oftentimes, and even just women and people in general, like, once you tell one lie, you gotta tell.
You gotta build it.
You gotta keep telling lie after lie after lie after lie, to the point where you begin to forget the lies that you told. Half of the time, from male and female, if you just tell the truth, you giving somebody an option to decide if they want to continue to deal with you or not. You know what I'm saying? But when you lie, you take away that option for them to even decide if this is something that they would want to do. So
now I hate you.
Now, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth, to kind of add on to what you was just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being afraid. I feel like most of that was rooted out of fear.
For sure.
Like,
you scared to hurt their feelings. Like, her feelings are going to get hurt. That's
like you just can't even stand in a situation just because you stand in it. You just probably fearful because you don't think that you're gonna find something better.
For sure.
But and you might be fearful because you don't think you deserve better. For sure. You might not feel worthy. It's so many reasons as to why people just be in situations without, just being in situations just to be in them. You know what I'm saying? Fear is one of the main things, but then also not knowing your worth, and then also, you know what I'm saying, just not even just feeling capable and having that strength, but it's capable.
For sure.
It's capable. So I guess for me, I guess let's just shift the conversation. let's talk about one of the like some key components or some things to helping a relationship last. Like, what would you say? You too.
Yeah.
It don't even matter who. What are some things to like that you would say would be able to help a relationship last?
I would have to say for sure patience, because we've been together 6 years, and I mean I said that in my vows. I'm not who I was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not who I will be 6 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So people change. You know, but you have to be willing to grow with somebody. You have to be able to endure and go through certain situations with people, because people go through seasons to where they might not be themselves now. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to be patient with a person and to grow with a person and go through certain stuff with people. Communication, of course, is big, because you got to be able to communicate with somebody.
Communication and comprehension.
And comprehension is huge, because communication, you got to be able to comprehend.
Talk about that.
If you ain't understanding what I'm saying, then we not moving. We not going nowhere. And I think one of the biggest things, again, because this is about the black community and how we can help grow the black community and black love, and that is, again, the lack of comparison. Because we compare so much. Again, it goes back to, okay, I might be comparing my relationship to this relationship, but you ain't doing what he doing for such and such, or sure, you ain't doing what she did for him. That ain't what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that might be one of the biggest things. I think your uniqueness. You feel me? I think we get so stuck on seeing what other people got going on that we forget, okay, well, why did you fall in love with this person? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you fall in love with this person? Are they still doing that? Like, are they still that same gym? Now, they might not be, what's money back owing you? You know what I'm saying?
What's money back owing you?
Money back owing already. I mean, what did he do?
That's
barter the whip or something. You know what I'm saying? He might not be buying you the new whip or the new bags, but he might really, really, really love you.
And that might come. That might even come. You know?
That might to endure.
In a good way.
He might really, really love you. So I think we got to get away from just the thief of comparison. Sure. I think that's probably the, for me, I think that might be the, because you might be taking away joy. You like thinking that somebody can't be doing that. Somebody, like, they might really, really, really love you.
You're looking out there, missing what's right here.
Missing on what you got going on. And then you might not even know. In that relationship, they might not even.
You know what I mean?
He might just be good at buying lavish stuff. He might not do nothing else like to make that girl happy, or she might not do anything else to make that man happy. But she might know how to put on a nice dress and take a good picture, and then get 1 million likes on IG. But might not know how to do anything else. So the thief of comparison, as far as. Okay, I see what that couple, man, listen, we need to worry about what we got going on, how can we grow as a couple and move forward, and that's it. I feel like.
Okay, so I'm going to probably say like 2 or 3, and then you could say 2 or 3, because you see how he just went in.
Look, he went crazy.
Money bag yo. Like, whoa.
Term,
I'm like, what did money bag yo do? I know.
It ain't even nothing against money bag, but I'm just saying, I just know how the females be. Like, females to see what somebody else got going on, and they might just automatically just think that that's supposed to be what you got going on, and that's not the case. For
sure. So I would say one of the main important things for me would be to helping, like, to have longevity would be just the willingness to grow. Being like willing and open to grow, because not everyone is willing and open to grow. What I mean by that is like, if you lack in an area, or maybe your attitude might be bad, maybe you suck at communication. I feel like being open and willing to grow will change the dynamics of a relationship. Because once you say, I'm cool, I ain't trying to talk about that, I ain't trying to keep, you know what I'm saying? That's, to me, when a relationship begins to start to end. Like, it's the beginning of the ending. Because you're not even willing to just work on you as a person. You ain't willing to work on yourself, let alone be willing to work on us. So it's like, I'm asking you to work on yourself, And then I'm asking, that thing that you do to work on yourself is going to help us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that is one of the main things outside of communication. I agree with the communication. But just the willingness to grow, I think that's what helped us and has helped us for so long in our relationship, is like we both are willing to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Like in moments where we're wrong, we're able to be like, you know, it might take me a day
Mm-hmm.
to admit when I'm wrong, but I'm going to revisit it because I got a relationship with God. And I think also that's the number one thing. What is your foundation? And your foundation should be God.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say, when you got a foundation of God, you know how to love your significant other properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, if God was my foundation, I wouldn't be able to self-reflect and then come back the next day and apologize.
Mm-hmm.
I would be filled with so much pride and not understanding that, hey, I need to go visit God, ask God to check my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and then reveal my heart to me, and then guess what? I'll be able to fully change or to apologize about whatever it is that I may be feeling or going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the willingness to go, number one being God, a relationship with God being that firm foundation for you and your relationship. Number two would be the willingness to grow. And then number three for me would be communication. Because like I said, without God, me and you wouldn't even last as long as we did. Let's just be honest. Like, it's been times where you have said, well, God placed this on my heart. Well, and the same vice versa. Or, you know, we just receiving correction in love and through love. You know what I'm saying? And that don't happen often if he's not the center, because God teaches us how to fully love each other. So God, and then the willingness to grow, and then communication.
Me, I'm gonna use something real basic, like, because I don't think a lot of people be like really